Welcome back to my playthrough of Hearts of Iron 3 with BlackICE and TRE. We're in February 39. Just got a little more intel there on France. I think that's because that's now at level 3. Land-based air warning radar efficiency has improved. That's good. Advanced education here as well, since it's not pushing it too far in advance. Earlier you get this, the better. The greater its effects will be later. There we go. Sort of getting excited to get this war started. I think it's going to be a fun one. Paratroopers HQ, that's useful, we want that. Yes, forming one SS Army and 2 SS Corps. Mainly use these to control the internal security units that the SS have. First, the Totenkopf Verband, TK units, and then later the SD units that will replace them. I want to check out the problem. Okay, yeah, we still got a lot of stuff to produce. Money for fuel decline. Don't care what Mexico wants. Industrial efficiency. We want to keep this going though. We're on 39 here. Oh, we want it back and keep that going. Okay. Because these are critical. Security. Let's cancel this. And heavy armor designs. We're already researching that to get that. We'll increase our light armor designs as well. Fuel. Marine torpedoes advance. That's another area that, although I'm not going to plan on defeating Britain by submarine warfare, I am planning on having it distracted and producing escorts and more Just let the clock there. We now have the upgraded 7th Flieger Division. Light infantry upgrade. Advance there, okay. Gonna start in on Arctic warfare equipment. We will be going north. Launched a couple of ships. Well, maybe they're getting smarter, no longer disarming. Military parade. Yeah, sure, we want a military parade. Heck yeah. Yeah, it cost us a bunch of supplies, but hey, military parades are fun. A Nazi culture magazine. This, Ober Denno, I don't know, is, sort of more high culture than, you know, talking about, you know, bad things in the world as the Nazis saw it. But that's alright. Okay. People like that. Ah, yes. The Schleswig-Holstein on the way home from the cruise in the Caribbean stopped off in England, and they had a football match with a local British military football team. Yay. We gotta try to have good relations with somebody, maybe. Our favorite guy that we're never gonna use. Come on. Here we go. Okay, that will give us 3 divisions here as response to any push by the French. Basic education advancement has happened. Get these as early and as quickly as possible, like we have been. Monumental architecture. Karl Hermann Frank. Very odious guy that I mentioned before when I put him in charge of this unit here. He was the number 2 guy in the sort of represented the extreme wing of the Sudetendeutsch party. He has been for a while an SS member as well, so we will appoint him as Secretary of State for the Protectorate of Bohemia. And another automobile exposition in Berlin. Good stuff. Yeah. Okay. IG Farm in Rotwell. Another major plant. We have a choice whether to upgrade it or not. It could cost us some, but it'll help with our coal to oil conversion technologies as well. Yeah, we'll do that. Installation, security, barbed wire, BlackICE event. Chiang Wei-kuo, recalled. He is the stepson of Chiang Kai-shek. Very interesting figure. I read up on him after coming across him. Like I say, stepson of Chiang Kai-shek. In Germany at this time, that's a marksman's lanyard you see on him there. He also earned the Edelweiss achievement badge in the mountain training, so that he went through that successfully, and my understanding he really went through it to achieve that. And he was also a platoon commander of a panzer platoon set up for the invasion of Czechoslovakia, but obviously it was more of a parade into occupation of the Czechoslovakia. So he was very involved, to my knowledge the only Chinese person at this time involved with the German army and serving member here. He's being recalled to China because of Germany's support for Japan, as well as just simply needing him back with us. Okay, the Anti-Comintern Pact. Hungary was one of the earlier suggestors of this, but I forget exactly why they did not sign on a bit earlier. But we can either bring them on board, which will help bring them closer to us, or if we had other plans, want to conquer them, we would. But we do want to bring them on board and have them part of it. This will make other countries like Yugoslavia and France a bit worried, because growing a greater German alliance, and of course Soviet Union doesn't like anti-communists. Switzerland needs some aircraft. And they'd like to buy some of our BF-109s. If we sell them, we will lose a bunch of supplies, get a little bit of money, and improve our relations. If not, Switzerland will go somewhere else and get other aircraft and get closer relations with somebody else. So we have that choice. Either we do it, or they will be more closely aligned to some other country. So we'll do it at this point. That was a real picture of a real Swiss 109. Painted up. They painted them up very clearly, as you saw, to show that they were Swiss, so the Swiss anti-aircraft gunners wouldn't target them as being, foreign in a German invasion, and so that other nations might not mistake them for Germans, since they were using that type. So they really showed up. Okay, another big heavy cannon. Yeah, we'll take it. It was just here, wasn't it? Engine fighter prototype advance. Now you see we just started more research on the mechanical computing machine, but we already have this much research done because of the Zeus event earlier. OG optics for hunters, very useful for military as well. Okay, now it's coming online some of our cheaper infantry divisions. Well, this thing made it back into Germany. Now that it's in Germany, we can upgrade it, because we don't want it to have standard artillery. We want to upgrade it to pack artillery. So we'll move this up. It's much cheaper. As you see, it takes a little bit of time. Much cheaper than a completely new unit. So the purpose of these divisions is eventually to guard the border with the Soviet Union, and then later to support our attack on the Soviet Union. They're meant to be just strong enough to be useful. Okay, one of the things is, because we supported earlier, the Czech National Socialist Party, the original guy, I think by this time has died, and he's taken over, and it's very interesting the way the things went with Czechoslovakia. But so since we've already started down this path, this is just an event talking about how their beliefs and their supporters. So this is a really interesting, this wasn't the German National Socialists, but just the Czech National Socialists. And they continue to exist under German occupation as well. Machine gun combo. So, okay, that's something we need to shut down. We're also going to do electronic computing, which we haven't had any events that helped it. The U.S. were the leaders of, well, and there's of course Alan Turing in Britain, but the IBM machines for computing. This leader must have been pulled away for other duties via an event. Okay, more seaplanes. These will help us. That's good. Fight British submarines. Especially here when trying to keep Norway supplied and bring in resources from Norway. Move Kessel rings. Okay, good. Still in good shape. Naval HQ advance. Great. We're going to go right there, check it out. Okay, so it's 1940, so we're not pushing too far ahead. So we're going to keep that going. Armor plating advance. Oh, that's the aircraft armor plate. Yeah, that's why I'm thinking of tank armor plating. Hitler's 1939 birthday parade. A lot of big guns, a lot of tanks. There's Hitler in brown there. So, everybody loves a parade. Costs us some supplies. Okay, let's see. We're going to also not just yet. We're going to do that, but not just yet. Okay. Don't think there's any more with this that we want to get at the moment, so improve submarine hulls. So, level 3 naval HQs. I think we better just want to attach him to North Sea. We will be doing another special episode of reorganizing and moving all this stuff up to the Polish border shortly, but not just yet. I'm trying to keep the clock moving, but we keep getting interrupted. Here we go. What's on? Another thing I find fascinating, which we already talked a little bit about during the Olympics, is the Berlin television. And here's an example of a Berlin, or of a general German television set. You can see they're sitting that close, partially, yeah, because of the small screen, but also to get them in the photograph, I'm sure. But it just was in the Berlin region here. They wasn't German-wide, just sort of like around there. But they had these, speaker TV screens that people could have in their home and watch television back in the 1930s. Britain also had a London area television station, and in the US, to my knowledge, the only ones doing regional television was around New York, greater New York City area. It was also at this time doing television broadcasts. But here in Germany or over in the United States, they were on just for like a few hours a day. It wasn't a 24-hour or most of the day kind of thing. Most of the performances were live. They weren't, we do have some recordings. It's a screenshot from their official test pattern type thingy. So we do have some of that left around, which you can see on YouTube. Maybe I should, I'm going to create a playlist of some of the movies and TVs, things that are on YouTube, so that people can watch them if you're interested. Okay, another one of these defense research reports. Minor breakthrough. Good. Radar for destroyers and frigates. That's good. So we're going to stop that. Go over here. Small warship. Radar. Claims on memo. That's up there. Germany loses, gains threat, disrupts the Soviet Union. Yeah, whatever. We're going to go for it. It was historical. So, and we lose 5 in descent. That's good if it was right after it was more towards the historic date with the Czech situation. It really helps you. And boosts our national unity as well, so that we don't need to spend so much there. Okay, continue to improve our air setup somewhat. Force HQ, which we already know we don't want to keep going. Been waiting for this, yay. Okay, that gave us these. Gonna send one over here. He's gonna end up being Flieger Corps Ost or East, because we want to have a separate command section for that. And we will send him here, and he'll become our transport headquarters. And we're going to send him here, and we will put these back in there. Increase the chain of command. Yes, I really don't like the lack of, or them removing chain of commands from Hearts of Iron 4. Wait a minute, did I do that one right? No, I didn't, did I? Again, these are all reducing delay between attacks. I can attack twice as often with the same forces. It's as good as having two of those units, at least on offense. So those are very powerful, getting that reduced. That is important here because it allows us to start researching superior firepower. Yay! Yes, we'll build that. Yes, Spain has won its Civil War. That is good for us. Would have been interesting, though, the other way, because I generally have a tendency, if the Republicans win, for Germany to invade Spain. But since it's going to be a relatively friendly state, and I'm enough of a historic player, I don't invade, at least normally, invade Republic or nationalist Spain. Reorganize the command structure. Now this is just reorganizing the elements that are already down in Austria. They're on a sort of separate track than the rest. Placing advance. Where is it? That just means we can supply units better through naval bases, which is useful, especially the way I like to play, which you'll be seeing if just if you people haven't been paying attention. I just sort of got word that it's towards the end of July that we're looking at maybe getting BlackICE 8 out, so we'll continue this series until BlackICE 8 is out and stable, or I crash and burn. If, as one person predicted, the Soviet Union kicks my butt. If they do, they do. Mobile unit command and control. Deutsches Land in Africa. Watch the movie. It's a tolerable movie to watch, but as one person commented, it does promote the NSDAP's view of Africa, which is not pleasant and does have a, Germans are superior type attitude, most assuredly. But it's an interesting artifact of the past. I don't show it here. I don't talk about it here or otherwise recommend it as a proper view of things. It's just a historical view of things. Please don't confuse the two. And here are a few scenes talk about that. I'm just sort of interested to see the old infrastructure and the old way that it was, way it looked in the past. That, is outside of any political message that may have been in. To see into the past is fascinating for me. Okay, we're going to have a big test here to see how things go since we just got this. Okay, event coming up here. We'll get rid of this first 4-engine bomber crew. We're waiting on that to come through there. Oh, medium armor designs to 3. That's what didn't pop up. Again, I'm not sure why it's not popping up. Some setting got messed up, I don't know. Okay, assault guns. We're now researching those. That's good. Just pop that to the bottom. Okay. Now, I'm going to save this because it's still a test of an event, and I don't want to mess up this playthrough because I can fix it if it doesn't work. I've tested it and it's worked, but I'm not, something that hasn't been played by 100 people or, I put out a game that, a new version of this, it's immediately 300 to 400 people download the latest version, so most of the stuff you've seen has been well tested. No text here yet for it. This is an event, and we'll go here and look at this. You can see these SA units are at 3,000 man strong. And we can click up here to see the SA structure. The one area that it doesn't cover is Austria, because there was an SA in Austria before, and it was actually organized as part of the rest of the German SA before it was part of Germany. And so either to have units in a country that you're not allowed to have it in is a bad thing, or I just have to stack them along the border here, or what. So or create another event and put them in, and I just haven't done that yet. There's been some talk that these may be overpowered because this is a huge order of battle, as you may have noticed, and I'm planning on doing the Ritter SA units, which are cavalry units that were part of this thing, and that's another 50-60 brigades. It's pretty large, and there's more SA there that I didn't get to for several reasons. But so that's that, and now but this is too strong in my opinion. All these units here would either give too much even combat strength, because these were, not that well armed. I think they're probably a bit overly teched up here. And so I've so far just made the, at least I think, decently looking event picture for this thing. And the essay continued to exist. From all the research I've done, including one of the things I did find, which I haven't got all the pages, but some pages have a phone book. All the SA units and their phone numbers and their locations. So if you wanted to call them up, call up the headquarters, you knew. And so one of the stuff I had was in 36. The other one was, I think, 42. And all the units are still there. Now, what happened is a lot of these guys are older guys, World War I vets, or older people that aren't in the Army. So they stayed with their unit. But many of the younger guys were still in the SA and still technically part of that unit. But whether drafted or volunteered, they were in the Army. So we can't double count them. So what I've done is created this event, and we will see how well this works here. Let's go up here. And you can see that. Bye-bye. It removes all the SA units. And I really hope people don't do the exploit. If you're going to do exploits, well, this is probably not for you. Hey, they're all back. See, they all disappeared. And now they're all back. But to go to the unit that we were just at, they're now at 1,000 men per brigade. Or it's near, SA militia detachment. I called this here temporarily. Or that's you gotta still finish up some of the localization stuff. But so it's the same structure, same location. So if you had moved it around to defend the border with France or used it for other things, they will go back to their base locations. Any officers you assign, you'll have to reassign them currently, because I've gone through and done my best for all the officers that I found that I could place in a into a command. And there's scant information on a lot of this stuff, quite honestly. I found some very interesting books I want to try to get a hold of in the U.S. National Archive, including these phone books that I was talking about that are on microfilm, and I want to try to get them to copy it, send it to me from the microfilm, so that I can do some research. But I have now 3 books on the SA total, or I have many books on the SS, and 2 of them are PDF copies of period German stuff, and only one of the other thing is if you're familiar with it, the Osprey Man-at-Arms series. They do a brief thing on the SA there book. Okay, well, since we're here, fighter bomber prototypes have advanced, and which shuts that down. We probably should start. We need to keep up to date on that. Okay, well, I think that'll end this episode, because we don't want to make the chunks too big for you and for me to upload, for you to watch. We'll continue this series. Thank you for being here.